Jet aircraft, the pinnacle of aircraft in War Thunder and every player's goal. Though this song may be a little ahead of its time for this game, the fascinating experience of flying a jet still remains. In World War II, for the very first time the world saw the first combat operational jet fighter. Since then, jet technology has evolved and is still used today. This time around, my wingman, Goose, and myself will be showing you how to operate these amazing machines. The jets of War Thunder vary highly in stats, but share the same principle. For propeller-driven planes, the name of the game is altitude and speed. This is different for jets. While altitude is important, speed is the most important element of flying jets. For jets, speed is life. Even at low altitudes, jets can maintain a high speed. Speed is both your offense and your defense. Without speed, you would have a hard time accomplishing even the simplest things. Attaching external weaponry to fighters can improve your combat potential, but at the same time, this will reduce your speed, turn, and climb rate significantly. Since speed is more important to jets than to props, you must be careful when deciding whether or not you should attach more weaponry and what to attach to your jet. Jets need more speed, and therefore, room to even take off, and some loadouts make even taking off very difficult.
When starting the game in a jet, your job is to build up your speed. Altitude will give you an advantage, but if you start off into a climb right away, you will sacrifice your speed. Only after you've built up some speed should you start to climb. Your climb should be at a shallow angle.
Because of the greater speeds of jets compared to prop aircraft, using your weaponry will require getting used to when making the transition. Higher speeds mean a smaller window of opportunity to fire your guns. When shooting at a jet opponent, this is even more difficult due to having to lead your shots further in front of your target. This applies similarly to jet bombers and bombing targets. Because of the higher speed of which your aircraft is moving, not only will you reach your target faster, but you will also reach your ideal range sooner. As a result of your speed, your bombs will be flung further. Basically, your bomb dropping range will be further compared to prop bombers.
When in combat, you must assess the situation. How fast is the enemy going? How fast are you going? Are there any other enemies nearby? There are many things to take into account when you're observing the situation. Based off the situation, you may either want to keep or lose your speed. It's not advised to try to turn fight in a jet. Not only this will make you lose a large amount of speed, but will also cause many G-forces as well, more so than you would experience in a prop plane. The only time you should turn fight is when fighting another jet, as prop planes are more maneuverable at lower speeds. Even when attempting to turn fight in a jet, it is a good idea to know how well your opponent's aircraft can perform before engaging in such maneuvers. There are several ways to handle jet combat, but first you must know how to use the best judgment to choose how you proceed.
Perhaps the simplest way for jets to attack is to boom and zoom. It makes sense, jets are fast. Dive down, pick up even more speed, shoot, then climb back up. Another thing you can do in a boom and zoom in a jet is use air brakes. This, combined with lowering throttle, will allow you to slow your dive, giving you more opportunity to fire at your opponent, as well as possibly save you from damaging your own plane. However, be careful with this. Not gaining as much speed in a dive can give other enemy planes the opportunity to catch up to you. If you lose too much speed, and if you don't shoot down your target during your pass, they will have an opportunity to shoot back at you. Another thing you can do if you don't plan on climbing back up in altitude is using air brakes and throttle control to match your target's airspeed so you can stay behind them. Again, be careful though. This should only be done if there is no one else around to intercept you and if your target's performance cannot give them an advantage in the situation. Even with speed, it is not advisable to fly through a large number of enemies, even if they're mostly props. The more nearby, the higher the chance someone can get a shot on you.
While speed is important, it can be used effectively, but only if the opportunity presents itself. When being engaged by a fast enemy, most likely another jet, causing them to overshoot can save you. When they overshoot and pass you, that is your chance to fire and pick up speed again. While the speed will most likely not be enough to catch up with them, you will at least be ready to handle them should they come back again. If you're the one overshooting in the situation, do not turn. This is the same if someone is diving on you and you know the aircraft cannot maintain the speed gained from the dive. Eventually, the enemy will lose their speed. Use that to your advantage and zoom away. It's better to survive and come back later than to die from a mistake. Diving can assist you in gaining more speed to escape. However, if the enemy is able to keep up with you, fly as low to the ground as possible. If your opponent is unexperienced, the higher speeds may cause him to crash.
For jet bombers, converting speed into altitude is a generally good idea. Of course, you must first build up this speed, but once you have it, you can climb to a high altitude much faster than any prop plane. Once at a good altitude, flying level will help maintain and build more speed, as well as give you optimal bombing accuracy. Most jet bombers do not have defensive armament, relying on speed as their defense. If you are being pursued and cannot outrun your pursuer, diving may help. However, you will be giving up your altitude advantage. If the enemy is still able to pursue you, fly towards your teammates. Flying fast and low can be effective as well. While some jet bombers actually do carry offensive armament, this is mostly intended for the ground attack role. As of now, there are two planes that are rocket-powered rather than jet-powered, those two being the Ki-200 and Me-163, which are virtually identical. These planes have massive climb rates, being able to reach high altitudes in a matter of seconds. The only drawback about these planes are their low fuel times and relatively low maneuverability. To counter fuel times, try to stay up at higher altitudes away from other planes and search for a target, bombers being an easy choice. While staying up high, reduce your throttle to 0, assuming you have a decent enough speed already, and glide. This will stop the flow of fuel, saving it for when you need it. Push your throttle back up when you need more speed, or go to engage an enemy. As for low maneuverability, these rocket-powered planes are able to gain speed at a very high rate, making them perfect for boom and zoom tactics. Strike fast and strike hard. That is all for a tutorial on jet aircraft. Remember to keep the lessons of our previous tutorials in mind. These can be applied to jet aircraft as well, but you must now take into account the new factors that come with jets. The transition from props to jets can be tricky, but we hope this video will help you on your path. In our next video, we'll be taking the fight to the ground in War Thunder's second vehicle mode, Ground Forces. If you can apply what you learned from this tutorial today, you can be my wingman anytime.